Alrighty, welcome to Night News webcam edition, folks. So the big news of the day, they're the headlines of the day. The real reason Cody Rhodes left AEW or whatever. So a bunch of people came out with stories there. Apparently, the real reason he left is for the money, folks. I mean, according to Andrew Zarian, folks, major contract dispute. They couldn't come to terms on an agreement. There was a big mismatch financially between AEW and Cody Rhodes. Meltzer, the two sides couldn't come to terms on an agreement. After 6 weeks, Cody could legally be on WWE TV at any time. Wade Keller was saying a bunch of stuff there. Basically, Cody wants to make big money like Punk and Daniel Bryan or something, but basically Tony didn't think he was worth that. He was getting ridiculed by fans, ridiculed backstage, apparently. There. Wade Keller, he says Cody Rhodes is going to be at WrestleMania. He's going to get a big push. He's going to be treated like a big deal. McMahon loves the idea of acquiring an AEW EVP. Apparently, a big match at WrestleMania or whatever. I don't think McMahon is going to bend over backwards there and, try to present Cody Rhodes like he's fucking Ric Flair or something. You know what I mean? Um, Rick, Cody Rhodes made himself look like a bigger deal. He's like controversial, but Cody looks like a star compared to a midget like Sammy Guevara. But if you put Cody Rhodes in the ring with Roman Reigns, and some of these fans, oh, he's gonna dethrone Roman Reigns. If you put Cody in the ring against Roman Reigns, then Cody looks like Sammy Guevara. You know what I mean? Cody's gonna look like a jobber compared to these real stars like Brock and stuff like this. I don't see McMahon, you know, forking out 3 to 5 million for Stardust or whatever. Get a fucking grip. You know what I mean? Um, but it's possible he might be there and stuff. We'll see what happens there. According to Andrew Zarian, WWE sees this as a big victory or whatever. The camp backstage, they see this as a big win or take this with a grain of salt there. Sean Ross Sapp, Cody Rhodes wanted a big payday, but it didn't happen there. Hey, Tony, how much am I worth? 3 million? 5 million, Tone? Fuck you, Cody! You know what I mean? Cody, basically there, I view it's like Tony Khan pretty much used Cody Rhodes, Cody, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, they had this movement going on D&D circuit. All in, Meltzer made a bet. It was all arranged, obviously. They can't sell out a show for 10,000 without McMahon or whatever. And then Cody took the bet, right? Cody took the bet and they drew 10,000. It was the wrestlers, aka Ring of Honor, who put up all the money or whatever, but it was presented like it was the wrestlers, who did it all by themselves there with Ring of Honor's money there, but they did it by themselves. And basically, they had started a movement with the indie fans, right? And Tony Khan just cashed in on this movement, right? He made them all EVPs. At the beginning, we thought it was going to be their Fed, and Khan and his father were investors or whatever, right? They made it look like it was going to be all in, fed by the boys for the fans or whatever, but it was just another billionaire who came along and cashed in on this indie anti WWE movement, right? And then he pretty much demoted all of them. He took away their powers, stuff like this. There was talk that there was problems backstage or whatever, but basically Tony used them. You know what I mean? He took their movement with the indie fans and made it about AEW. He just brought these guys in and he cashed in on the movement, all the t-shirts, and it's just another billionaire who made the money, not the boys or whatever. That's just a big load of bullshit. So maybe that's also part of the reason why Cody left. But it could also be the money or whatever, right? But Cody Rhodes isn't really worth a big payday. He left WWE, he was Stardust. He was like bottom of the mid card, the bottom of the tag division. He was almost bottom of the card, right? He won the Ring of Honor title. That's not a real belt. It's not like he became a real main eventer, you know what I mean? But in AEW, he looked like a main eventer compared to other people. It was him, Jericho, um, Pac, or whatever at the beginning. There was nobody, Kenny Omega or whatever. So people were calling him a main eventer, even though he wasn't, the fans. Maybe it went to his head or whatever, you know what I mean? And if Khan viewed him as a main eventer, would he have done that stipulation that he couldn't compete for the world title? If he really thought Cody was a big star and he was good enough to be champ and he would make money as champ, would he really make him do this stipulation that he couldn't become the champ? I don't think so. You know what I mean? I think Cody really wanted to be a main eventer basically there, but he just isn't good enough. They were pretending he was a main eventer in AEW. The first ever cage match, the promos, a big entourage with Arn Anderson and his wife, and the music and the entrance. He tried to be a main eventer and it failed hard. It looked cringy. Some of the worst television that I've ever seen. It was vomit inducing, a lot of this stuff. You know what I mean? To the point that the AEW fans turned on the guy. You know what I mean? So, after the 2+ years of the awful garbage that he put on television, was he really worth a big payday? I don't think so. You know what I mean? maybe McMahon can do something with him. He's going to need a script. If somebody needs a script, it's Cody Rhodes. Fuck, you know what I mean? But he's not a big money player. You know what I mean? We'll see if McMahon takes him back, if he does something with him. But this shit that he's worth 5 million, this is retard talk. Seriously, there. Like, according to Meltzer, AEW isn't going to sign as many people for the time being. Only 5 debuts a week, folks. Not more than 5. There are 3 debuts on Dynamite, 2 on Rampage, folks. Not more than that there. Apparently, WWE has canceled 205 Live, and it's going to be replaced with a show called NXT Level Up. So the show with 500,000 viewers apparently needs a second show there called NXT Level Up. Another show that I'm not going to watch, I guess, there. According to Fightful, there's talk of Buddy Murphy going to AEW. Apparently, AEW has interest in Buddy Murphy. Me personally, I have zero interest in Buddy Murphy, folks. Just another midget, ginger or something there with zero charisma. They can wrestle, so what? Like little nerds that can wrestle. I've had my fill of this garbage the past few years. I just want to see real stars. They're a reason to watch. I don't need a 5'6" Hammenager that can flip and jump and I belong here. I'm not interested in this anymore. There, AEW hiring 16-year-old boys. There, something's got to give. This is too ridiculous with this fucking trash there. And according to Meltzer, Austin and Owens is on the card, boy. It's almost official. According to Meltzer, it's on the card. And not only that, Austin might wrestle in Saudi Arabia or whatever. Again, folks, I would love it if it was true. But is it true? You know what I mean? Maybe Austin shows up and gives a stunner to Kevin Owens or something. But, like, I don't know out of nowhere. Austin coming back to wrestle. He's wrestling in Saudi Arabia. I don't know if I believe any of this, but time will tell. And apparently, there's another big surprise at Mania. As big as Steve Austin, Meltzer says there. But it's not The Rock. Some people are saying it's Rock, it's Undertaker. It's Cody Rhodes, folks. The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes! And here I'm back! I don't know. We'll see if there's a surprise or whatever. There maybe it's Meltzer just planting bullshit there. Who's the surprise? You don't know. There's a big surprise. Word is a surprise or whatever, according to my source. There's all kind of people that show up at Mania for all kind of things. There, it's a pretty vague prediction. I don't know there, but so that's the news for today, folks. Is Cody Rhodes appearing on SmackDown? Is he going to appear on Raw? Is he going on NXT there? Maybe they need to clean D&D out of him before he arrives on the main roster there. Vince, I heard you had big plans for me, Vince. Yes, Cody. You're going to wrestle for a stipulation match. If you lose the match, you can't compete for the world title, Cody. Trust me, kid. You're gonna get a push. I don't know. So we'll see what happens, folks. But apparently he's gone or whatever. So we'll see. Does he go to WWE or not? There. We'll see what happens. Until next time, stay tuned for more news. Peace.